people lived in peace. The streets were lined with trees, and the houses had white picket fences. The townsfolk knew each other well and often gathered in the park for picnics or community events. However, the tranquility of Maplewood was shattered one stormy night. At the center of this town was St. Mary's Church, and inside, a dedicated nun named Sister Jessica Swan spent her days in prayer and service. She was known for her kindness in helping those in need. But lately, whispers spread through the town. James Winter, a lively 6-year-old boy with bright blue eyes and a big smile, had been acting strangely. Some said he was possessed by something dark. He would talk to himself, scream in the night, and refuse to eat. Worried, James's mother, Mrs. Winter, turned to Sister Jessica for help. She trusted the nun implicitly and believed that a good person like her would know what to do. One evening, Mrs. Winter knocked on the church door, fear and desperation in her eyes. "Sister Jessica, please help my son. Something is not right with him," she pleaded. Sister Jessica, feeling compassion for the boy and his mother, agreed to visit their home. That evening, as thunder rumbled and rain poured down, she made her way to the Winter house. Mrs. Winter welcomed her in with trembling hands and led her to where James lay on his bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. "James, sweetie," Sister Jessica called softly. "It's Sister Jessica. Can you look at me?" The boy turned his head slowly, his expression empty. "Are you feeling okay?" "I see them," James whispered, his voice barely audible. "They're everywhere." Sister Jessica felt a chill creep up her spine. She kneeled beside the boy and held his hand. "Who do you see, James?" "They come for me," he said, eyes darting around the room. "They want me to play." Sister Jessica's heart sank. Mrs. Winter watched in silence, her hands shaking. "Sister, can you help him?" she asked, her voice breaking. "I can try," Sister Jessica replied, though doubt filled her mind. She had heard stories about possessions, but she had never encountered one in her years of service. That night, Sister Jessica decided to perform a small exorcism. Armed with her faith, holy water, and prayers, she began chanting softly. The room trembled as the wind howled outside, rattling the windows. Suddenly, the boy's body began to convulse. "No, stop," he screamed, as the shadows in the corners of the room seemed to grow darker. Sister Jessica's heart raced. She kept her focus on her prayers, but doubts bubbled in her mind. Was she strong enough to fight whatever was inside him? The lights flickered, and she felt a cold breeze brush past her. "Leave him," she shouted, her voice firm. "You have no power here." But the boy, still shaking, suddenly spoke in a voice that was not his own. "You cannot save him, sister. He is mine now." The voice was deep and menacing, sending shivers down her spine. Fighting her fear, Sister Jessica continued to pray, pouring holy water over James. The room sparked brightly, revealing a shadowy figure lurking behind the boy. It seemed to writhe and twist, as if trying to escape. In her heart, Sister Jessica pleaded for strength. The figure recoiled, but it was not gone. James's eyes rolled back, and he fell unconscious. Sister Jessica felt nauseous but pressed on, remembering her duties and faith. Suddenly, she heard a loud crash nearby. The window shattered, and the wind howled louder. A flurry of objects flew around the room. Mrs. Winter screamed and clutched her chest in fear. "Sister, what's happening?" "I'm trying to save him," Sister Jessica shouted over the chaos. She felt her strength waning but refused to give up. The figure was growing more powerful, feeding off the fear in the room. Just as she thought she could not continue, a bright light filled the room. In the corner stood an old woman, her face serene and comforting. "Fear not, sister," she said softly. "You are not alone." The spirit of Sister Agnes, the first nun of St. Mary's who had passed many years before, hovered beside her. "Together, we can drive this darkness away," Sister Agnes urged. With renewed strength and combined faith, Sister Jessica and Sister Agnes lifted their hands. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I command you to leave. The shadowy figure writhed in agony, and with one last deafening scream, it was gone. The room fell silent, and James lay still, breathing normally. The storm outside began to calm, and a sense of peace filled the air. Sister Jessica rushed to James's side and checked for any signs of distress. His eyes opened, and he blinked as if waking from a long, deep sleep. Sister Jessica, he murmured. What happened? You are safe now, James, she replied, tears of relief flowing down her cheeks. Mrs. Winter fell to her knees, thanking Sister Jessica for saving her boy. Though the night had been filled with terror, the community of Maplewood would never forget the bravery of Sister Jessica Swan and the light that had accompanied her. And as for James, he would once again play freely in the sunshine, but he would always remember that fear could be conquered with faith and love.